Yo, full house.
Oh,
What up? What up?
how we doing? How we all doing?
Crushing life, dog. Let's get the room right. Let's see. Let's go live on IG really quick. Felipe, you just lock up a deal or what, bro?
You know those sellers that just say, "Man, I want to sell my house. Fucking just take it, bro."
Is that what it was?
That's one of these sellers, man.
So did you lock it up?
They said I couldn't lock it up yet because they need to subdivide the property before they sell it because it's connected to a dealership.
Where is it?
Brookfield, East Brookfield.
It's connected to a dealership that they want to keep.
Yeah. So they own the dealership. His son owns the dealership. The father is the landlord, but he's like, bro, like I hate being a landlord. This job sucks. I want to get rid of this house. Like I suck at being a landlord. They don't pay rent. Yada yada yada. Just take the house. But he needs to subdivide it first before he can sell it because they don't want to sell the parking spot for the dealership because that's where all their cars sit.
Okay.
He said he already has all the frontage ready and everything. Like it's in requirements. He just has to get it started with the town. I told him he needs to talk to his son too because he said either his son's going to be a landlord because he doesn't want to be a landlord, or he sells the house. And he's very, very positive that his son does not want to have anything to do with the house, and he just wants us to buy it.
Okay. So what are they doing so far right now in order to get that thing subdivided?
So far, nothing. This is super raw, I guess. Like they're just getting in the process of thinking about selling because we just contacted him. So he's like, "Yeah, man. Like, actually, you guys got me at the right time because I want to sell." He's gonna talk to his son tomorrow about selling.
Okay.
If it's a yes, they're gonna subdivide it. I don't know how that stuff works, subdividing properties. I don't know if it's a long procedure or if we can do anything to speed it up on our end to help them. Yeah, one tenant doesn't pay rent because they have financial issues, baby mama drama, all that stuff. The other guy is good to go. He pays, but he just really wants to get out of the real estate business. The price is already good too. He's looking for 155, 160. And I mean, what?
Where do we need to be?
Pretty much around there. I mean, I'd say you go a little lower just to be safe. The comps, there are like no comps in the area, but I kind of went back like a while, and all the multifamilies are kind of selling in the 250 range, 270 range, and this one's really big though. So and those were like smaller ones.
Yeah, I think I saw this lead come in. It's in a weird area, man. It's kind of in an area where we had a deal recently that we weren't able to sell. That we had it locked up at a good number. We just couldn't find a buyer for it. So what we'll do is we'll shoot it out to some people and try to find a buyer before we lock it up.
Okay.
Or lock it up with a contingency.
Okay.
And essentially just have an option contract with them.
Mm-hmm. This one, the one that we had last time, it was like in the middle of the woods, right?
Sort of. It was like in a lake area.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, what you can do is in the meantime, you can put an agreement in place contingent upon him getting everything subdivided.
Okay. So okay.
That's what I would do, bro. I would do an option contract and just let him know that one of our partners is going to buy the house. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
Let him know one of our partners is going to buy the house, but we have to market it out to our partners in order to find a partner for it, and just say, hey, that process could take a little bit. That could take, a few weeks. Why don't we put an agreement in place for now at a number that works for you? That gives us time to shop it out, and it's also contingent upon getting the subdivision done.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm just writing it down so I don't forget. Yeah, so basically, the bullet points is do an option contract with a contingency of subdivision.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Just
perfect.
say, hey, this one's just out of our area, but we do have a ton of partners in that area that would be able to hook you up with. The only thing is, would need something on paper so that they know that we're serious. But why don't we put an agreement in place contingent upon one, you getting the lot subdivided, and two, us finding a partner for it.
Okay.
Because that could take a couple weeks. So might as well have it already set to close by the time that you get the both lots subdivided.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Cool. Do you remember that appointment that we set up for today? We set it up yesterday.
Yeah, the
Where
weird guy.
we're like, yo, there's something going on with this guy.
Yeah, something's going
I
on.
absolutely knew it, especially because I looked on the deed and he wasn't even on the deed. There's two things. Here's the thing, like once you sent something like that, you can do your homework. Just like I told you guys about the story yesterday, where we had an appointment set up and I just had a feeling that this guy wasn't real. And I just did a little bit more homework. I listened to his voicemail and realized that it wasn't the seller and all that. So we didn't go on the appointment. Same thing happened today. I knew before I left my office, I knew that this guy was not the homeowner. I knew he was messing with me the whole entire time. However, I looked at the property online and I'm like, this could be a lead at least. So why don't I go there and talk to somebody? Right. But here's how I knew that it wasn't the actual homeowner. I looked at the property records. One, he wasn't on the deed, but two, I called him back to talk about that. Right. I was gonna call him back and say, hey, I see Maria is here on the deed. Do you have any type of relation with Maria? Is this like a family member or what's going on here? Is she going to be present at the appointment? Right. And when I went to go call him, it went straight to voicemail. The guy told us his name was Mr. Johnson. His name is not in the voicemail. It was not Johnson. It was something else. So I knew automatically like that the guy was just yanking our chain.
Yep.
But because it's literally like 3 minutes down the street from my office, I went on the appointment anyway and generated a lead.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Yo, literally. So ready? This is funny, bro. So I walk up to the door and I'm like, hey, I'm supposed to have an appointment here, but I know that I think I was getting played with. I was like, just to give you an understanding, I buy houses all around Brockton, and we had an appointment here to come check out the house today to potentially buy it with a Mr. Johnson. Now, I kind of have a feeling that Mr. Johnson does not live here. Is that correct? She's like, yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm like, okay, well, now that I'm here, you guys looking to sell your house? And she's like, yeah, actually, we are looking to sell the house, just not at the moment. But my mother owns the house, and she does want to sell it probably in the next 6 months. Right. So I got their contact information and now it's a lead.
That's funny.
Funny, but right. So I text the guy back. I'm like, hey, so do you just like wasting people's time? Do you do that for fun? he calls me. He's like, hey, yeah, I took you, you guys called me about 2 months ago and I told you to take me off the list and you guys never did. This is what you get. Ha
ha. Fair enough.
So
Fair enough.
I'm like, yo, that's respect, bro. So I hung up the phone. He texted me back. He said something like, next time do your homework before you go on an appointment. So I texted him. I was like, actually, funny enough, the house is actually going to be for sale at some point. So when we close, we'll send you over a referral fee. Thanks. Freaking amazing.
Oh, Mr. Johnson.
But yeah, so everybody do your homework before you go on these appointments.
That's funny, man.
So What do you guys got, Karen? What do you got? Karen said that she had something today.
Yeah, I finally spoke with Pat. I think this was one of the leads that we went over, Mike, about a few days ago.
Okay.
The one in
Oh yeah, Quincy.
sorry. Yeah,
Okay, what's going on with it?
I just spoke with him earlier today, and um, he kind of like didn't want to talk much about it because I don't know. He wants us to like take a look at the house, and but I insisted that he's already in Florida, right? I think you also spoke with him about. I think you had a conversation with him too.
Mm-hmm.
And he's already in Florida. The house still vacant. Still in the same situation. It has been used as a storage for now, and it's been a while since it's vacant actually. And from the previous notes, he was saying that he's not taking less than 200, but just earlier he was asking for around 299 for
Mm-hmm.
it. But as I was trying to ask more of some questions for him, he just wanted to let us take a look at the house first before we even ask questions about it because he doesn't want to waste his time and um tell a lot of things about the house when we haven't even looked at it yet. So
So
he
he
said
wants
that
us to go inside of the house, or he wants
that's
us
what I
to.
asked when I asked,
Yeah.
oh, okay, is there anyone that we could meet in there since you're not um here here in this house? Is there anyone that we could meet there? And he said that it was weird because he just said that um you can just take a look at the outside, and once you're there, call me and then answer all of your questions. He just told me that, and then I asked, okay, what one quick questions though. I mean, one quick question. How much repairs do you think that this house would cost you, something like that? And then he then answered that the house might be a tear down and needs a lot of work. So I also asked him, um, is that the reason why you still haven't had it listed or something like that? But he kind of like dodged off that question and he said, just take a look at the house first, and once you're there, call me and I'll answer all your questions.
Got it. So here's what you do:
Yeah.
you call him back tomorrow, and
Okay.
you say, "Hey, Pat. Actually, one of our site guys was down the street at another property yesterday, checking out one of our potential houses that we're going to put in the portfolio, and we just decided to check it out on the way home. So we had our guy check it out. I mean, I don't know what we're going to be able to do here for a number. What is your absolutely lowest number if we just buy this thing as it sits without you having to deal with any realtors or anything like that?
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Then you get his lowest number, and then you see what's going to prevent him from moving forward. If we can come up to that number, um, and then I can absolutely go check it out.
Okay.
But you could just let him know. Just tell him like, yeah, we actually had one of the guys check it out on the way back from an appointment because he was already in the area. I mean, I don't know. We're definitely gonna have to get inside the property at some point, but we think it could be a deal for us. What is the absolute lowest number you would be willing to take if we just took care of everything for you and you didn't even have to deal with this house anymore?
Okay. Yeah. That sounds good.
Love it. Felipe, what up, bro? You're on mute, dog.
My bad, my bad. Um, there's this one lead that's just been sitting here for me. I have kind of no idea how to approach it. Um, since last time I talked to him, all he wants is a written offer and yada yada yada. Send me the paper, and I don't really know what to do. Would I think it would be better if you called him, maybe maybe even go cold, to be honest, and see what's going on.
Push it over to me, bro.
All right, sent.
In Springfield?
No, it's in. Wait, I'm sorry. It's in Rhode Island.
Carroll?
Yeah, you call the second number is the husband. I believe his name is Frank.
Okay, what is it? Is this a vacant lot? Is this a
It
house?
is. It's a house. It's a rental, and then there's a lot on the other side of it. That's also theirs.
Okay, and they want to sell both?
Yep.
Who am I calling? The husband or her?
The husband. The second number.
What's his name?
Frank.
Hello?
Hey, is this Frank?
Yeah?
My name's Mike. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. I got a note here from my team that you were
I don't know what gave them that idea. I never said I was selling, so.
Oh,
No information like that.
wait, you're not selling that house at all?
No, I have nothing.
Got it. Did you have another house or something that you were looking to sell? Maybe we have the wrong address.
No, right now, we're not gonna wholesale anything, so we are selling some property, but not wholesale. We're gonna list them and we're gonna retail.
Oh, so you are selling some houses. You're just gonna put them on the open market.
That is correct, yeah.
Got it. So you wouldn't entertain selling these before going on the market?
No, I've been for this before. Like I said, I'm an investor too, so I try to buy a wholesale too and sell retail. I do the same thing that you guys do.
Oh, love it. So are you looking for more deals?
No, I'm trying to downsize. No, I don't want any more deals at the moment.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Got
thanks
it.
for calling back.
For sure. Well, it said in the notes that you were looking to sell this, like. Okay.
Okay.
So why was he wanting to sell it in the first place? Were you able to get anywhere with him?
The wife told me that they just had a lot of property and they just wanted to start liquidating.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like it's not really a lead at the moment. It's also hard to get anywhere with the guy because he doesn't really open up to you and start talking.
Mm-hmm. So here's what I would do with a guy like that. I would go back in. You got to think about it. What's going to get this guy excited?
We're going to buy your house at retail.
No, but yeah, I guess that would get him excited. But like, do you remember probably like a week or two ago, there was a call where you were like, the guy is just being so short with me and I just don't know how to get a little bit more information.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, do you remember how I went into the call?
Oh, I never saw that call.
Oh, got it. Okay, well, I went into the call like not aggressive, but like doing something that was going to catch his attention. I forget exactly what I did, but what you could do on this particular lead is just say, hey, I'm actually writing up the offer here. I'm trying to figure out what I should put in this thing. Could you just give me an understanding of what you're trying to accomplish? So boom, he's like, wait, this guy's about to write an offer up on my property. Yeah. And then he's going to want to talk a little bit more about it. Could you just give me an idea of what you're looking to accomplish so that I can write up the best offer for you as possible? Then you start getting him to talk a little bit more. So getting, like, catching his attention somehow. You got to, like, sometimes you got to use multiple ways with these types of people. You have a couple of conversations, you feel them out a little bit, and you're like, all right, this guy's kind of tough. Let me try to go in a little bit different, on a different angle. Because you got to think about it. This guy is an investor himself. He knows the wholesale world and everything. Like he said, he's trying to do the same things as we are. But if he hears, oh, somebody's about to send me an offer, he's going to be a little bit more willing to chat. Because up to this point, he has probably been bombarded with calls, and he knows the wholesale game, right? So he's like, I don't want anybody to waste my time here. I'm not selling my house for a super discount. That's why his like guard just went completely up. Because you got to think about it. If Felipe owned a house and he was about to sell it, and he was getting calls from wholesalers, he would immediately be like, yes, I'm not selling my house at a discount. Stop calling me. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he knows the game. So you can go in and talk about the offer, or like you said, talk about retail. So actually combine the both, right? So hey, I'm here trying to write up an offer for you. One of my bosses said that you were looking for retail. I think we have a potential way to get that for you, and I'm sitting here trying to write it up for you. But I just got to get a better understanding of what you're trying to accomplish.
Okay.
Because we could do seller finance. Actually, investors are usually the best people for seller finance. And that's when you pitch a little seller finance.
Got it.
What else you got, bro?
There's one lead that you sent me a little while back.
Mm-hmm.
This guy needs to do a variance. But the only problem here is price still. So he's at 460, we're at 404. I don't really know if there's anything I can do when we have such a price jump. Right.
Okay, so there's what is it? It's a piece of land too? Why is he getting a variance?
Let's see. That's what you told me that he's doing that. He has to split a lot of his own to sell the property. I'm just reading your notes here because I remember you sent it over to me. It was one of your leads, and he said all he needs is a variance, and we could help him with that or whatever has to do with something with variance. But either way, like he's at 460 no matter what, and we're at 404.
Okay, we got to figure out why. Why is he at 460?
From what I remember, it's just that's what he believes that's what it's worth. He doesn't want to lose more money on it.
Okay, so how do you plan on getting 460?
I think he's gonna go with an agent in the possible future once he gets the variance, or if he gets it.
Okay, is going with an agent his best route?
That's the thing. I'm not sure since this variance thing. Like, I don't even know what a variance really does. Does it just change the zoning?
I believe you could get a variance for zoning, but a variance essentially allows you to, put a piece of property on a piece of land that you shouldn't have before the variance. So let's just say you had some sort of vacant lot, right?
Yep.
But as it sat, you aren't like through zoning and frontage and all the setbacks and everything, you aren't able to put a piece of property there just because of the laws with the city.
Oh, okay.
A variance pretty much is, you know, getting something from the city that says, hey, yeah, you can do that.
Got
Like
it.
I'm going to override it. So it's something
Okay.
that will get approved. Does that make sense?
Yep. Okay. Well, basically, where I'm at is that we are too far apart in price. And should I just like keep it as a time thing? Should I just try to like what should I do?
Let's give him a call.
I'll task him to you.
Mm-hmm.
You should remember this lead. All right, sent it over.
Holy crap.
You get double dialed.
I'm gonna put my thing on. Okay, we're back.
You remember it?
I don't for some reason, but our offer is way off. I don't know why. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, for this guy, just keep him in your follow-up. He needs to get, here's what he has. He has a house that is a retail house. Like he can sell that thing on the open market. It's in good condition. But he also has a good chunk of land. But he needs to get a variance in order for that land to be justifiable as buildable, right? So he's going to go through that process. He's stuck on that 460 number. That's just where he's stuck. I told him that we could take care of everything for the 404 number, but other than that, we're just not going to land on numbers. So just keep up with him. I would let the variance process beat him up a little bit because it's going to take a little bit for him to get the variance. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it's a time thing. Just like give it some time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So essentially, we could get that deal done at 404 if we just took care of everything. But so I think what I told him was, you know, I think your best option is just going to get the variance yourself and maybe listing the property separate with a real estate agent, and then we can buy the piece of land separately. He is going to have the best ability of getting the variance because he's the homeowner right now. Like when somebody buys it as an investor and then tries to go get a variance, it's a little bit harder. So that's why I told him just go get the variance and then we can have another discussion. But the variance process might beat him up a little bit. And if it does, then we have an opportunity just to buy the whole entire thing at 404.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a timing thing. But you could say things like, hey, the market's changing and all this stuff to try to speed him up a little bit. So to create some like urgency in him, but Yeah, just let the variance process kind of beat him up a little bit and stay on top of him. But there's nothing that you could do right now to convert him.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's all for me.
Karen, you got any?
That's it for me too.
Let's get me on a seller call. Give me a tough seller to call.
Sheesh.
By the way, that lead Felipe that you sent me, that I called, I think I called it on live not too long ago. But we have an appointment with her tomorrow at 11:30.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The one in Chatham,
Oh, okay.
one that we were talking about earlier. So we
Yep.
set the appointment for tomorrow at 11:30.
Cool. Yeah, I have no idea what to do with that lead in terms of just the area. It's super weird. I don't know if you took a little look at the comps.
Mm-hmm. What I'm going to do is I told her that I'm going to bring comps with me and just give her an understanding of what her best option is. I think the house really does need a lot of work. So her best option is going with an investor directly. But what did we talk about earlier?
Earlier in this live or earlier in general?
No, earlier today when we were in Zoom.
Wait, give me a second.
When we were on the Zoom, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the Zoom. Okay, yeah. Work the numbers back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, work it with them. Box them in until they can't say no.
Yeah, it's not like boxing them in and like putting them in a corner, but at the kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it just sounds weird to say like that, but get them to realize that
exactly, yes,
we are a good option.
Because what is the quote?
What's the quote? A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still.
Correct. Right. So if you go there with comps and you show like, hey, these are what the houses are selling for, all fixed up. Like, here's the data. Now let's figure out what your best situation would be. In order to get here, just from my experience, and you have to take, my word for a grain of salt. I'm just an investor that you just met today. But I could tell you, after doing so many deals, it probably needs this amount of work.
Yep.
Right? So you tell them that, hey, it needs $100,000 worth of work, and I think you can get it up to that, 600 after repair value number. That's where we're working at. But in order for us to buy this house, we're going to have to be at X, and then just explain why we're at X. We have lenders that we borrow the money from. They charge us a bunch of interest. We got to pay closing costs and all that stuff. We're willing to take care of all the fees that come along with this deal. So that's kind of why we're at this number. So, I mean, with all that being said, where do you think that you guys, like, what situation do you guys think would be best for you?
Yep.
Going and doing all the work, or just getting it off your hands? So it's acting as like a consultant.
Yeah. No, but that area is weird though, because I don't think there are any comps. Maybe if you go past the year, I think you'll find some.
Mm-hmm.
But give it a look. You'll see that it's kind of tough to find some comps in the area.
What I'll do, I know a real estate agent down there, so I'll run it by a real estate agent and get a hard ARV.
Okay. I could see it going for like $1 million if it's all fixed up. But that might be crazy too.
It's a really nice area.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get a hard ARV from a realtor, and we'll see. You have a lead or what?
You can try this guy. I haven't gotten in contact with him yet. He didn't pick up the phone, but he sounds like a tough guy to call.
Okay. Exciting news for any JV partners. we are switching CRMs. We're going to RE Simply. So for people that are submitting leads to silverhomies.com down here at the bottom, if you're submitting leads to that, it's going into our new CRM, which is so much better than Podio because now we're going to be able to assign you to the lead, and you don't have to contact me directly and say, hey bro, what's going on with that lead? What's going on with that lead? You will be able to just log in. We're going to give you a username. You'll be able to log into our CRM and literally see all of the notes and the conversations and everything. It'll all be there. So instead of hitting us up and saying, hey, did you guys call it? What happened? You can just say, you could just log into the CRM and literally see all the conversations, hear the conversations, look at the notes, look at what our follow-up sequence looks like. So I'm excited for that. We're rolling that out within the next week or two, and we're taking all the JV leads that we currently have in our Podio system and bringing them over to RE Simply. So it's a little transition. It's probably going to take, we're probably going to go live with everything next Monday, the Monday coming up. But I'm excited for that. So, Felipe, what do you got?
It's been sent over.
Oh, okay. Because I can remember when I was generating leads in the beginning, I was sending some leads to a creative finance team, and I couldn't see the notes, and I didn't know who to contact to catch an update, and it was just super annoying.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, dang, I don't even know what's going on with this lead. I should have just called them myself, And I would much rather, I would have much rather been able to see everything.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't sound too professional. Like you're like in limbo for, it could be months. You never know until this thing closes. And then you start questioning: do they remember me? Are they gonna fucking pay me? And
Let's see what we got. Hey, Matt.
Yeah, speaking.
Hey, it's Mike. How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Amazing, man. You spoke to my team about this property over in CT in Seymour. You got a sec to chat about it?
I got a couple minutes. But...
Love it. That's all I need. We're looking to buy a house down there. I was just seeing if we were gonna sell it. Was that still the case?
I have a house I'm working on right now, and when your team called me for a sell, I said, sure, for the right price, it's sell.
Okay, got it. It's the one on Bungay Road, right?
Right, 127 Bungay. I got two in Bungay, but this is the one that I live on.
Got it. Well, what's going on with that house? Could you just catch me up to speed on everything?
I've been here 40 years, but there's almost everything new. There's a couple things inside the finish. And it wasn't for sale, but I'm getting a lot of calls. So that's the only thing.
Got it. No, we get a bunch of calls too. It's like when you own multiple houses, all these investors are calling every single house, so you just get bombarded with calls. So I get it.
Yeah, well, this is my private home, and you guys been calling me for a couple months now. And they've been going back and forth, finding a homeowner finance. I don't want to do that. I flip homes too, so I have a couple homes around the same street here, whatever.
Oh, got it. So you fix and flip as well?
Correct. Yeah, I'm a contractor.
Okay. So with this property, if it's all fixed up, especially because you're a contractor, I assume that you got all the nice plans. Got it. Well, what's preventing you? What's preventing you from just listing it with a realtor?
I never listed anything with a realtor. Every property I have, I tell them right away. I have no problem with that.
So you just put it for sale by owner?
But yeah, there's only commercial properties I own. I do it by a realtor. The homes most of them are my finances. I like to keep them, or if I have to sell them, it's not a problem.
Got it, man. What were you hoping to get for it?
I don't know. What do you offer me? I have an appraisal in a week and a half to do. They're coming to get an appraisal done.
Got it. So you haven't received that yet?
No, last appraisal was something to my neighbors, I guess, but I never really got a full appraisal.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm just doing the driveway and I decided to get all brand new, so. I'm
Got
just
it.
trying to appraisal right now.
So this thing on the retail market would probably sell somewhere around 700.
Okay.
Oh, I'm asking, is that what you think?
No, I wouldn't start the 700.
Well, what do you
I
think?
can rent it for 4,200. I can rent it in a heartbeat, like family, and other place I can rent it. Like I got a pool, I got 2 acres. It's right next to the school, like next door to the school. I got all the schools around me, and all the highways are gonna need the house is 3,000 square feet, 4 bedroom, finished basement. I got a pool, everything.
Got it,
So
dude. This.
yeah, so there's nothing around here for 700 compared to this one.
Got it. Well, dude, this sounds like a beautiful house. Why are you selling it?
I'm not. You guys called me.
Okay,
You
so
called me for another property, and they asked me about this one. So they check my name, I guess. So I said, sure, because the offer was good.
mm-hmm. Got it.
Somebody called me yesterday, same thing. I said, I'm really not looking to sell it, but for the right price. Yeah, I'm a businessman, so.
Love it. Okay. So I'll be honest, man. I don't know if we're gonna be a good fit here. Typically, just like yourself, we're looking to put some love into some properties. But I mean, you as a contractor, and you're already doing even some more updates to the property. I think, like you said, even finding one of your customers or something that you have to buy it, that's a retail buyer that's going to live in the property, might be a better fit. For us, I just don't think that would be a good fit. Do you are you looking for more houses to buy?
Depends what you have. Only cash offers. Whatever you have that's financeable, I'll buy it.
Okay, so you would buy a house in cash to fix and flip, or to hold for one of your rentals?
Yeah, I only buy cash. Whatever is no bank will give you a loan. That's what I want.
Okay, whereabouts?
They have to be in here. Where are you from? You're from around here? Or?
No, our office is in Brockton, Mass, but we're venturing out into CT.
So anywhere from Cheltenham, Derby, and Sonia, Seymour, Big Falls, around this, like it's called the Valley, where we are.
Yeah.
Shelton is my main area. I own a lot of properties there, so it's I don't let nothing go there.
Okay.
So if you have anything Shelton, I'm down for that. But nothing Bridgeport, Waterbury, I'm not really down.
Okay, just single families or?
Anything. Well, anything you got.
Love it. Well, we're starting to do a ton of wholesale deals down in Connecticut, so.
If you guys are interested, I can give you a couple of addresses. If you get me offer, I got plenty of properties that I'm not supposed to.
Well, what do you think as far as any properties that you have right now that we might be a good fit? Do you know of any, or do you have any?
I have most of them are already got it. They're getting redone. But you guys looking to fix it yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, most of my properties are already almost done right now. I got it everything and I make everything resident. So it's different,
So those things are hot and ready to go.
Yeah, they're almost done, so I don't think they're gonna be worth it for you guys. I can leave a little room for everybody to make money, but again, depends on what you guys looking for. Are you renting them or are you buying them to flip them?
We do both.
You do both. So
Mm-hmm.
I have one in Seymour, one in Stratford, and Shelton. I have 1 2-family duplex. It's 198-200. It's 2-family.
Mm-hmm.
Worcester Street. That one I might be able to. I own the house for over 20, 30 years, so I might be able to get rid of that.
And that's in Seymour?
Again, no, that's Shelton.
Oh. Okay. Do you know what you want for that one?
I have no idea. I just started getting a lot of phone calls for that one. And to be honest with you, my phone is just going crazy because I own a lot of properties.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys will research the landlords and just doesn't stop right now. Your company's been the one that most aggressive. They've been calling every day, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And they call for all the properties. I sold already 2 properties in this one. I have 2 lots and a commercial building.
Got it. Well, what we've done in the past, especially with other fix and flippers, we've actually finished the projects for them and essentially like partnered up on the deals. Would you be open to something like that?
What was the percentage from that?
Well, usually what we'll do is we'll just agree to a number, and that's that number that the seller gets on the back end of it. So we just did one up here in Brockton where the seller wanted 300. Now for us to close on it with cash, you know, after closing costs and our lender costs and stuff like that, it was too tight. So what we did is we ended up just giving him the 300 on the back end of our renovation. Didn't need too much. Like you're saying, the property was almost done, but he was moving out of state and he was like, man, I don't want to deal with it anymore. I just want my 300 grand. So we just said, hey, why don't we just do the rest of it?
I have, for cash, not a problem. I've had a lot of cash properties. I have a lot of businesses, so I flip a lot of homes, like it's family business. Like my father does it, my grandfather does it. So we're in the business of flipping homes. Is what we do. We're contractors. So we have a lot of homes, and every home is minimum 100,000 to put in. That's the rule.
Yeah.
So we do everything: electrical, plumbing, everything breaking in the home, new roof, new siding, and we'll flip them. It's not a problem. Most of the time, we're going to need a realtor. 90% of the time. We know right here, but the house they're not done yet. Do you guys go half on the construction, or you go half on the deal? Like how does it work?
Oh no, we pay for the whole entire construction. So what we'll do is we will end up agreeing to a number, right? This guy's name was Nick, the deal that I'm talking about. His name was Nick. We agreed to a number that he got on the back end of us taking care of all the construction. So we paid our contractors, we managed the project, we did everything. And then on the back end of it, yeah.
So you have your managers that go and everything?
Yeah.
All right. So that's what I do. I do work for McDonald's, for Subways, for U-Hauls. I manage all their projects, all their construction.
Oh, dang.
So when it comes to like houses, I flip a lot of homes that I manage myself.
Yeah.
I have keep them busy.
Okay.
Plus, we own a lot of plazas, a lot of shopping plazas and stuff. So we keep, that's what I do for myself. I can't let that go. Business,
Yeah.
I keep my guys busy, and I got to promise my guys that they get work, so I can't let that go.
No, I hear you.
But yeah, if you want, I can give you a couple of addresses.
Yeah.
I got family at home, so I got a full house full of people.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you want to call me, we'll talk about that.
All right, brother. Well, do you think you could do me a favor?
Sure.
Could you text this number, essentially the addresses that you would like to sell and an asking price of where you would want to be at, and I can see if I can make it work somehow?
Are you looking for lots, or are you looking for home or commercial? Like
How-
mostly
Single family
what do you profit yourself from? I'll give you one match.
single family residential is our bread and butter. We can work with everything else, but would like to work with single family residential before anything else.
Write this down, 23 Buddington Road. Budding Road, Shelton. Single family home. Again, that no mortgage, 90% of property. No mortgage. All done, finished basement. I don't know the square footage actually right now off the top of my head. But
Okay. Well, what do you need out of that one?
About 380, 400, 380 per project. I have to look at the appraisal because again, I have to look at what I put in the house. I have a lot of houses, so I can't really talk off the top of my head. But if you call me tomorrow when I'm at my house, I can give you all the broken down.
Yeah, that works. Well, why don't we do this? Why don't instead of a text, I could just I'll text you over my email. If you could just email me a bunch of addresses and your asking price on all of them and where you want to be at, we can have a discussion. I can look at all of them and be like, oh, this would be a good fit. Maybe that's not a good fit. And
Do you have an investor, or you guys buy it? If you come to the house, how does it work? I work a lot of times with all different companies. That's why I'm asking.
yeah, we do both. So
you have investors that give you portfolio, that's what they want, and you guys invest for them.
mm-hmm.
All right, so I'll text it to them because like right now it's behind Connecticut with multifamily.
Mm-hmm.
I know you asked for single family, but a lot of people want like 10 or 15 families enough. And I have a lot of lots to approve for 10 families or stuff like that. So I don't know if that's what you're looking or.
Yeah, we could potentially, like the ones that we buy typically are all the single families. That's what we close on ourselves. But a lot of the other ones we'll find partners for.
Okay. No problem. I'll text you everything, then I'll go from there.
All right, brother. Well, why don't we have a conversation again tomorrow?
No problem. Thank you.
All right, man. When should I call you tomorrow?
Anytime. Call me anytime after 8.
All right, I'll call you in the morning, probably around like 9:30.
Not a problem. Thank
All right, boss. Talk then. Have a good night.
What was your name?
Mike.
Mike. My name is Matt. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, brother. Talk soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
It's always a good call when they ask for your name.
That's a fact. That is a fact. High level guy does a lot of business, right? Like there's always something to get out of a call. Who knows if we're going to be able to land a deal as far as numbers wise. I was looking at that address that he just talked about, and I think ARV was like 325. He's asking like 4. At the end of the day, this guy's a investor, right? But a really good buyer to have now that we're doing a lot of deals down in CT, and just a good dude to connect with, like especially on those development leads. Anything from that call that was that you guys want to go over? Like, why did I do that? Why did I do this? I could have done this better.
Honestly, it was kind of hard to hear what he was saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can only hear what you were talking about. I don't really know what he said. But I kind of understood what you were doing. I don't know if Karen has any questions you can ask.
I don't think I don't have any questions.
Cool. Well, family, good stuff. Tuesday, we got 3 more days to lock up some deals. Let's make it happen. What's your foresight of the future for the rest of the week? Any deals?
Potentially that one guy that you were close in locking him up. You got through the contract with him, but he kind of got out of it. You remember that guy?
No, which one?
You had a sign-in with him, and at the very end, when he was like ready to sign, he kind of like backed out. He said like, "Oh, this contract is more towards your favor, yada yada yada," and he never signed the contract.
Where was it?
New Bedford.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that guy?
Yeah.
So I've been following up with him and everything, and there might be a deal there. Tomorrow I'm going to get his bottom number, and if it works, it might be a deal. He realized that his number was too high that he was asking. He was like apologizing, like, yeah, I kind of think that's too much for anyone. So I'm going to see what else I can do. Either way, I mean, if that doesn't work, a novation might be possible too, but I'm strictly trying to go for cash.
So, is it the same address that I was trying to lock up before?
Yeah.
Dang, yeah, dog, get that.
Here's what's crazy, right? You locked it up. You guys talked about in the notes it was like 225 you guys agreed upon.
Yeah.
I get in contact with him. He's asking 325, right? So I'm like, damn, like this guy went up 100K. And I already knew that wasn't a deal just by that number. But, I'm following up with him, making rapport, bonding with him. And then he kind of like realizes that that's too much. You know what I mean? Like he's like, yeah, that's too much money. I don't know why I even said that price. Let me figure something else out. So, I mean, if he comes back at that same price range, to the 240, 220 range, we should have a deal. But I mean, I don't know until I have the conversation tomorrow.
Okay. This is a guy that I'd like to go on an appointment with.
Yep. He doesn't know who you are, right? Like in person.
Yeah, I don't think so. Shit, he might watch our content actually. He's an investor himself, and he knows some of the investors that I know.
Yeah, he has a bunch of properties. But yeah, I mean, he's a cool guy. Everything's cool. If the numbers work, we work. So
yeah, if once you get his bottom number, ask him if there's anything that would prevent him from not moving forward, and set the appointment.
Yep. So that one could be a potential deal. Other than that, on my end, there's the one I passed down to you, the land deal, which I have no idea what's going on there. Sounds like he's dragging his feet. I think that's it.
Yo, I am so excited to get into this new CRM because everything that we're doing right here, we're gonna be able to just not even have to have these conversations and be like, oh, what opportunity you got? We're gonna actually just be able to click a button and see.
Yep.
It's gonna be fire. Like Podio stinks. If you guys are in Podio, get rid of Podio. Podio ain't it. Just spend the money on a good CRM. So also anybody submitting leads to silverhomies.com. If you want our team to do all the follow-up and the closing and the dispo and all that, feel free to go to silverhomies.com, submit the lead. You'll fill out the web form. It says like your information, the seller's information, the notes on the lead and all that. A lot of people who have virtual assistants that are generating leads, but they might not just have the time to call them or the team to call them or whatever. Those are the people that are sending us the leads. And what happens is we follow up with them, we close it, we do the dispo, and they get paid. So if you go to silverhomies.com, submit leads, you will actually now, since we're going into a new CRM, you're going to be able to keep track of all the leads that you've sent. Like you'll get a login. You contact me directly, and you'll be able to get a login that essentially you'll be able to track all the leads in the system. You'll be able to see all the conversations, see the notes, listen in on the conversations, everything that has happened with the lead, when the next follow-up is, like all that. You'll be able to get a full understanding of what's going on with the lead. So I'm super, super excited for that. I want to pour into the JV partners as much as possible. I want to get you guys some freaking deals done. So good stuff today, people. I will see y'all tomorrow.
Hurt.
Peace.